Hello, today on Angry Chef, I am angry as per usual, which is a good news because I like to be consistent. Okay, why am I angry? Because these advertisements that they have for crash dieting, fad dieting, gyms, liposuction, surgeries, because it's bikini season, is a bit much. And I just want you to think about if you want overall health for the rest of your life, or you want to do fat, skinny, fat, skinny, fat, skinny, and obsess for the rest of your life on the seasons and your weight. So I'm going to leave you to that, but now I'm going to prepare food. Okay, so today I'm going to make spaghetti and red sauce, raw style. Okay, here's the first thing I want to tell you about red sauce. Okay, if you make homemade red sauce, here's a secret. You can make the exact same thing minus the meat, right? Or cooked oil with fresh ingredients. You just don't have to cook it. It's that simple. No cooking. Okay? So wrap your head around that. Just think of yourself making your spaghetti sauce, but without cooking it. So how would you do that? Well, that's what we're doing today. Okay? And how would you make noodles without noodles? I know, crazy, right? We've gone half cocked now. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really cool, and this is very exciting for me. So I have to get on it. It's probably going to take 15 minutes or more, so I got to bump it up. So here's the first thing I'm going to show you. This is the substitute for tomato paste. What are these? Tomatoes that have been sun-dried with a little bit of sea salt. That's it, okay? That's all you need. Read the label. Okay, read the label. You're gonna start being surprised at all the crap that you see. So you can either with these, see these are nice and tender. These guys sometimes are really hard, so you would want to pre-soak those. It could be 15 minutes or an hour or whatever, but get them so they're kind of. But here's your tomato paste. First thing that you put in there, okay, and olive oil. I'm going to say 1/4 cup. All right, for you, I'll measure. Only because, you know, now we have a relationship. I don't know what that means, because you're there, I'm here, and I don't even know who you are. And the spices are, drumroll. This is the fast way. If you don't have enough time and you want to do this really quickly, then just take 2 teaspoons of an Italian herbal mix, okay? But I'm not going to use that. I have already gotten some fresh oregano, some fresh basil, and I'm only going to put in half of this, okay, 1/4 cup of basil. No stems. Don't use the stems, they're bitter. So I'm putting in just half, so 1/8 of a cup of basil in it. Then I'm going to mix, and then this is going to be the sprinkling on top. And then a teaspoon of dried rosemary, because I don't have rosemary yet in my garden. Also, some onion powder. You can put in fresh onion, but because fresh onion mixed in this sometimes can be a little intense, a dried onion powder is going to have a more mellow taste to it than the overwhelming of fresh, the overwhelming fresh onion. Okay. And I'm just going to put in a little. Let's just say 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and a big clove of garlic, and I'm not putting in tomato yet. I am going to put in just a dash of cayenne. It looked like a lot maybe, but it wasn't. And a couple spoons of pink Himalayan salt, or whatever salt. A little bit of pepper. Here is the secret. You'll see that some people put sugar in their sauces. Well, I use a date, pitted. And this is my favorite thing that I'm going to turn you on to right now. You may or may not. You hear of mesquite, like, oh, we put mesquite chips on our bar. No, not those. But yes, mesquite. Same thing, not the chips, not the barbecue, not set on fire. This is raw mesquite powder. Our mesquite powder is highly nutritious, rich in magnesium, potassium, fiber, and iron. It also contains up to 17% protein with a high lysine count. Hello? Okay? This 1 teaspoon of this has 1 gram of protein in it. And guess what it tastes like? It tastes like cinnamon and chocolate and sugar put together. But it definitely has a, I don't know, herbal taste to it as well. So I wouldn't just go running around sprinkling them on everything like candy, but definitely in juices, in preparing other foods. So good. Smoothies. So this is like a sun-dried tomato tapenade at this point. And you can take that and slice some zucchini, which I did when you weren't looking and had a piece. Or you can take some jicama, slice up some jicama and use it as a dip, or serve it on top like chili fries. Or you can like I said, make a slice and then put it on top and serve it like bruschetta, and then maybe top it with olive oil, which we could do, but that's not what we're doing today. Now I have that in my teeth. It's really good. Excuse me. Since we're making tomato sauce, we are going to then next add to that, and we're going to dice this a little bit. We don't, once we put it in there, we don't want to make it into a complete, just like flat sauce. We want it to be a little chunky. And the reason why is because we're not cooking it, and that way the flavors stay a little bit more separated. So it's not just one flavor. When you over blend something, like that can happen in the Vitamix. If you over blend something or put everything in at one time, sometimes it's very hard to get dimensions in the flavor. And you want to have that texture and layering of flavors. So we're gonna do this just a little. Let's do a short burst. Try and get ahead of myself. Look at this. Now, if you want it thinner than this, you don't like it so chunky, then go ahead and run it longer or add more water to it. That'll thin it out a little bit too. And another thing that I'm not adding today that is a nice touch is a little squeeze of lemon. Fresh lemon, not the plastic kind. So a little squeeze of lemon pops those flavors as well. So here's the noodles. I have a cool little machine, okay? And so I use that. And to use that cool little machine, you take your zucchinis and make them like even-ended little stumps. But I will show you what to do if you don't have the cool little machine as well. Okay, this is called a saladaco. Okay, watch this. I love this. I feel like Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves when he's doing the coffee. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies ever. It's more like Dances with Boxes, though. My God, all the men in that movie were hot. Isn't that fun? So it could be like a Lady and the Tramp moment. Aww. And I'm going to also share with you, don't make the noodles until right before you serve it, okay? Because otherwise, they start to separate. The water starts to come off of them. So then they get kind of runny. Okay. Basil, shredded basil on top. Okay, so if you don't have the cool thing, it's called a saladaco. Okay, I think it's S-A-L-A-D-A-C-C-O. I've been practicing. This little unit thing, order one. They're not expensive. And if you don't have one of those, but you still want to do this dish, you can just either use your julienne thing, and I'm not very well versed at these kind of gizmos. Oh, look at that. It actually works. But now I should probably use this. Man, this one works not bad. Oh. Okay, so that, okay, and this one, but I guess whatever, Good Grips makes this one. Or this is what I use when I make lasagna, and I'm probably, well, we'll talk about that later. But this is one, I love this one. It's just really simple. It's only got one thin blade on it. This one I'm used to. Watch, this will be the time I cut my finger, because it's all good. So anyway, that makes like a lasagna noodle. And I do make a mean lasagna, but it's way too complicated to make on this show. So here's that one that we use, the first one with the small julienne, right? See, look at that. A little basil, yum. And the plate picks it up. So there you go. There's another thing you can use to make your plate prettier, right? I mean, your food prettier is a nice plate, or a pretty plate, or a colorful plate, or whatever. And then there's these guys. And I would probably do some fun, like, shape on the plate. Look at that look at that. We're just making up crap the whole time we're together, right? And then maybe you put a little line of this. And this maybe could be an appetizer, right? Look at it. See, look at what we did together. And look, we'll use the last of that. Look, we just made stuff together. Just made stuff up. Same thing. Meal. I don't know. That could be a salad even. You could call that a salad. And this is like a little beginning. It was good seeing you. Wait, did I just say something nice? I really gotta take my temperature.